Chicago 3. Dear community, to enter, send your name, address, and phone number to the New England Ford Dealers Ticket Giveaway, P.O. Box 276, Boston 02134. There is no purchase necessary. This opportunity brought to you by, ironically enough, your New England Ford Dealers. Well, that's actually not the groom-to-be. That is not John Morshed. It's one of his buddies. But in honor of the wedding party, the bachelor party, and they all came here in their Timmy Bavacqua shirts, and in honor of our man Jerry Trupiano, who wears these and right now has shirt envy as he looks over, we have donned our garb. I think mine's a lot uglier than yours.
Bob Quire actually bought these for us a while ago.
Do we get to keep these?
Oh yeah, these are ours.
These are ours to keep?
Yeah.
Too bad. You sure?
Take it home. I think it's a wear it once kind of shirt, though.
Garciaparra fouls one away.
That luxury box can't top us.
They're now waving up here, Jerry, to thank us for our spirit, our fellowship, our unity with their cause tonight. Chopped down to third. Creedy throws out Garciaparra. Nomar is 0 for 3 with a walk. Of course, everybody's walked about 4 times tonight for the Red Sox. The most walks the Red Sox have ever drawn in one game in a 9-inning game is 15. We have a chance for that tonight. Last time, by the way, was at Chicago, May 7th of 1992. And they almost tied that record with the 14 walks September 1st. That was Labor Day at Philadelphia. Labor Day this season.
That's amazing. I mean, 7 runs in this game tonight for Boston, but only 4 hits.
Ramirez looked at a ball, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to center for Manny. Yankees lead Tampa Bay 7-2, 6th inning. Anaheim and Seattle underway in about 40 minutes. Kelly Wunsch, the 4th pitcher of the night for Chicago. Walked the first man he faced, has retired the next 2. He missed low. And there's walk number 12. First run by Manny. That leaves Todd Walker, ironically enough, Jerry, is the only non-walker among the Red Sox tonight.
3 for Johnny Damon, 1 for Nomar, 1 for Manny, 2 for Ortiz, 1 for Millar, 1 for Miller, 2 for Veritek, and 1 for Kapler.
So only Walker has not walked. Here's Don Cooper, who will skip his aerobic workout tomorrow on his way to the mound. He has to be tired. Here's Scott Sullivan, acquired earlier this year in a trade from Cincinnati, about to begin throwing in their bullpen.
As lopsided as the game seems at this point, obviously 4 runs at Fenway, not very much, and especially when you have the type of offense that the White Sox have, but somehow they have to find somebody that can throw some strikes. It looks like Scott Sullivan would be the next guy that they try.
David Ortiz takes a ball. He's walked twice and scored twice and fouled out to the catcher. Red Sox 7, Chicago 3, bottom of the 6th. Hold foul. Of course, the Red Sox likeliest avenue to the playoffs is via the wild card. They're 4 behind the Yankees in the American League East, but leading Seattle by a game and a half in the wild card. And you look at the Seattle schedule, Jerry. It's very tough. They have this 3-game series with Anaheim starting tonight at home in Seattle. But then they go on the road for 4 at Texas, 3 at Oakland, and 3 at Anaheim. After this series this weekend, they only have 3 home games left, and they're against Oakland to close out the season.
Yeah, they have, 6 of their last 9 games against the Athletics.
Ortiz to left, drifting toward the line of Lee to make the catch. 2 outs, and Ramirez back to first.
First baseman.
You have to think
Number 15.
Seattle is going to have to take advantage of those head-to-head games with Oakland. They have 6 shots at them head-to-head. They're 2.5 out in the West right now.
Yeah, they still feel like they have an opportunity, obviously, because they do have so many games left with the Oakland A's. I was talking to a scout that watched Seattle play while they were in Baltimore, and he said they just look like a tired team.
Yep.
Ichiro has slumped badly over the last month or so, down to 314 prior to tonight's game.
The 1-0 to Kevin Millar. There's a strike over the inside part of the plate. He's 0 for 2 with the obligatory walk and run score tonight. 7-3 Boston, 6th inning, 2 outs, a man at first, and a swing and a miss. Well, one thing that could help the Red Sox the rest of this weekend, some wear and tear done to Wunsch tonight. Sullivan has to come into the ball game. He's one of their more dependable setup men. There's still a long way to go. They're probably going to have to, they're definitely going to have to use somebody else beyond Wunsch, who's ordinarily not in there for long stretches at a time. The 2-2 to Millar, backdoor breaking ball missed.
And in a game where a lot of strikes were being thrown, that might be a strike,
yeah.
But that hasn't been the case tonight.
Saw Bill Miller on deck. Manny will be running. Konerko will move behind him for the 3-2 that's bounced by the Chicago dugout. Oakland has a very similar schedule to Seattle series at Texas. Beginning tonight, they're trailing Texas 3-1 in the 5th inning. Then they go to Anaheim. Then they go home to Oakland to play 3 with Seattle and 3 with Texas. Then they go to Seattle for those 3 games head-to-head to end the regular season. Ripped down the line and caught by Creedy. Nice play with the backhand by the third baseman to end the inning. Red Sox strand a runner. They've left 8 after 6. 7-3 Boston. Motors. 6 innings, and the Red Sox with a 7-3 lead. And a new pitcher for Boston after 6 innings from Jeff Suppan. Here's Todd Jones.
22nd appearance of the season for Todd Jones, a record of 2-1, a 5.76 ERA. He last worked on Tuesday. That was in Baltimore against the Orioles. 2 innings in that game, allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run. Did strike out 3 against Baltimore.
Suppan pitched 6 innings and allowed 3 runs, all earned on 5 hits, including 2 home runs. Jones' first pitch, a strike to Sandy Alomar, the number 9 hitter. Suppan walked 3 and struck out 2. He threw a wild pitch. Alomar fly to center twice against Suppan. A foul ball. 0-2. Suppan threw 103 pitches tonight, 60 strikes. That's out of play to the right.
Well, a couple of home runs allowed by Jeff, but both solo home runs, and both coming in the 4th inning. The only other run on a 2-out double by Joe Creedy back in the 2nd inning.
Wow. Talk about missing the target. Veritek stood up. He wanted that pitch high. We've seen Jason do that a lot over the course of the year, and Jones threw in the dirt. Missed it by about 6 feet. Hanging breaking ball popped up along the third base line, and a foul ground Miller for the out.
You know, sometimes, Sean, Veritek will do that. He'll stand up wanting the high fastball, and then on the next pitch to try to deke the hitter, he'll stand up and then go back into the crouch, and they'll throw that low fastball. But I don't think that was the case with that one. I think Todd Jones just missed the target.
Now you wonder how often the hitter would be aware of that movement when he stands up like that.
Sometimes, you know, even if you know a high fastball is coming,
you can't hit it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks so good coming to the plate, but it's eye high. You see it nice, but you can't catch up to it.
Alomar has flied out twice and grounded out. Outside.
Looks like Ted and Sarah might be a little late tonight with the news.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to hit that 10 o'clock right on the button, which is good because they were kind of hanging around here. And I'm not sure they would have been ready to answer the bell there at 10 o'clock. A lot of socializing. I'm going to hurry home. I want to get the latest on Isabel.
It seems to be bothering you tonight.
Well, at least Ted scared me, you know. He said Isabel's coming, maybe even coming at us. 150 miles an hour, 160 miles an hour. That's a lot of wind. You watch the, I know you watch the Weather Channel, you know, because you're a weather kind of guy, as we've seen. It's a huge hurricane.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, when they show the Atlantic, it takes up the whole Atlantic, and the eye is enormous. I think for our own safety, we should head home right now. And for the safety of all here. Just call the game. Red Sox win 7-3. Get home and board up those windows. Tape them up, and where's Shelby Scott when we need her?
The storm's at least, what, 3 or 4 days away, right?
And more than that, I think.
More than that.
But Jerry, life is about preparation. Ball 4. A 1-out walk to Alomar. Just the 4th walk given up by Red Sox pitchers tonight. They've had pinpoint control compared to the Chicago hurlers.
Well, the neighborhood that you live in, you would not be taping up your own windows. There are people that do that for you. Tape up the windows, board up the, you know.
Mr. Weston. The ball high. Carlos Lee, the batter, 0 for 2 with a walk.
What are you going to do with your boat?
That's a good question. Here it comes, right back here. One and 1 the count. That's why we have interns, right? Send them down to
take
hold
care of the
ropes for the boat,
yeah.
you know, during the hurricane.
Johnny Guts should get out on that boat.
Oh yeah,
and just ride it out. It's like the cruise liners do.
Like Gilligan's Island.
Nothing happening.
Well, I think that's changing direction. Our little whirly bird. This is the latest in weather gathering equipment. It had to cost, that could not have cost more than like $12. Look at that thing. And Ted and Sarah must make a lot of money if that's all we could afford for our newfangled high-tech weather gear on the roof.
Well, they got to pay you once a week too on Fridays.
Oh yeah. Break the bank. Down to first. Millar goes to Garcia-Parra. Jones made the out call, but the umpire Angel Hernandez did not agree. Lee beat the throw. Very nearly a nifty double play.
Millar close to that first base bag, so he's able to get back and take the throw himself. Goes into a kind of a dive to get the ball. Here's the return from Nomar. Millar,
Designated hitter.
I'm not sure he had contact with the first base bag. Didn't matter though, because Carlos Lee beat it anyway.
Frank Thomas has walked, fly to center, and single to left. There was a time, a long time, when he would hit for high average and for power. He hasn't hit for the average this year at 263, but the power has returned with 40 home runs. Sends that to left. A dive by Manny, and he could not squeeze it. Got a glove on it on the hop to slow it down. Didn't get very far behind him, fortunately so, or else Lee might have had a chance to score from first. It's a single for Thomas. A good effort by Ramirez. And all of a sudden the White Sox have runners at first and third with 2 outs.
And again, by playing shallow, gives Manny a chance at this. He goes in the dive. It gets part of the glove, but behind him, another nice effort by Ramirez. But the White Sox now have first and third with the 2 outs. Manny plays left field very similar to the way Rice and Yastrzemski played it. Very shallow. Yaz used to always have a high number of assists. He charged that ball like an infielder on those ground balls in left field and throw a lot of guys out. We see so many outfielders come in here and play very deep here at Fenway Park because they're not sure about the left field wall.
Number 30, Maglio Ordonez.
This is the first time we've seen the field since the Springsteen concert, and the outfield looks remarkably good, doesn't it?
Yeah, not bad at all. Just a little area out there where the stage was in center field, but overall looks very, very good.
That's where the stage was for those who weren't able to come to the concert. It's a big stage too. One strike on Maglio Ordonez. 7-3 Red Sox in the 7th. Jones missed low. Ordonez is 0 for 3. There is action in the Red Sox bullpen. Millar, the first baseman, playing just a little bit behind Thomas. Slapped away by Ordonez. Jones ahead of him, 1 and 2. Scott Williamson and Mike Timlin warming up. Jones trying to get out of the inning unscathed. White Sox have left 5 men on through the first inning, the first 6 innings. He's trying to get them to strand 2 more. Missed outside. That was a pretty lively fastball, 94 miles per hour. Carlos Lee, the runner at third, and Frank Thomas at first with 2 outs. In the 7th inning, 7-3 Boston, and a 2-2 count on Ordonez, who hits it on the ground through the left side, a base hit and a run for Chicago. Lee is in to make it 7-4, and they'll get the tying run to the plate here in the 7th.
And we mentioned, earlier that this seems like a comfortable lead because of all the walks for the Red Sox tonight, but really Now only a 3-run ball game. Brady Little coming out to the mound. Makes the call to the bullpen.
So Jones departs after 2/3 of an inning, and Mike Timlin will be the new pitcher when we come back.
Back at Fenway, the Red Sox have the 7-4 lead here in the top of the 7th. Well, the Red Sox and Ford provide a free shuttle bus to Fenway Park from Northeastern University, operated by Paul Revere. The service is provided for every Red Sox home game. Buses depart every 10 minutes, beginning 90 minutes before game time, and buses return to the station up to 30 minutes after the game. For more information, visit redsox.com. Todd Jones finished for the night, gets a couple of outs, gives up a run here in the 7th inning, and Mike Timlin will pick him up. Timlin making his 67th appearance of the season. He's among the league leaders in the American League in that category. A record of 6-4. He has had a few days off. Last time Timlin worked was on Monday against the Orioles. Pitched an inning, gave up a couple of earned runs in that game.
And he's in to face Carl Everett, the tying run at the plate. And Everett's had a good night. He doubled and scored in the 2nd, homered to Wright in the 4th. A solo homer, was robbed of a hit on a nice catch by Manny Ramirez in the 6th. Hit softly to short. Garciaparra to Walker to end the inning. So Timlin does his job quickly. 7th inning stretch for 34,890 at Fenway. The Red Sox leading 7-4. News from around the majors brought to you by Hewlett Packard. Well, the folks in Billerica will be happy. The Mets have purchased the contract of Mike Glavine. He's the 30-year-old brother of Tom Glavine from Norfolk of the International League. He's a first baseman. He hit .266 for Norfolk this year. And he'll join his brother Tom in the major leagues. First major league experience from Mike Glavine. Meanwhile, city officials in Portland, Oregon are putting together a proposal to try to bring the Montreal Expos to the American Northwest. They need to find some resolution to that Montreal situation, Jerry. Bill Miller, a first pitch swing and a pop up in foul ground caught by Konerko for the out. Miller now 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. 2 runs scored. Here's Dan Roach.
All right, thank you very much, John and Jerry. And we're joined, it's an honor here after September 11th, the 2-year anniversary yesterday. A man who just returned from Iraq, that is Captain John Klug. And John is from Oklahoma, first time at Fenway. Jennifer Padoni, a friend from George Washington University in Saugus, brought you. John, what's it like to be here at Fenway Park after being over there for so long?
Cold, but it's amazing. It's so beautiful. I'd never been here before. It's so small, and it's just great. It really is.
Well, certainly we appreciate all the work you've done over there. What was it like over there? When did you get there, and how difficult the mission was it?
It was very difficult, but you know, the thing that doesn't come across in the media here is that the vast majority of the Iraqi people are great people, and they were they deserve a lot better than what they've gotten, and they were very generous and very happy to be liberated from really what was just a bunch of thugs that ran the country, and it's going a lot better than people think.
You said over there was also the Red Sox-Yankee rivalry at your camp, right?
There was. I was with the Civil Affairs Battalion that was half from Providence and half from New Jersey, and they followed the scores every day, and we went back and forth. The guys from New Jersey were all Yankees fans, the guys from Providence, and every day you'd go to their meetings at 5 o'clock, and it would go back and forth of what the score was the night before.
Well, as an honor for work that you've done as Veritek grounds out on the 3-1 play, we've got you a Rem Dog hat, you know, an official Rem Dog hat. Once you put it on, you've got your Army t-shirt on, and now you've got your Rem Dog hat on. You're ready to go to war, right?
Absolutely. This is great. I will keep the Rem Dog hat forever. This is a nice, thank you very much.
Give us a bark or two for the Rem Dog, the official bark of the Rem Dog from the U.S. Army.
I don't know about the official dog. There we go.
There you go, Rem.
Yes.
Take it away.
All right.
Thank you.
How do you respond to that?
That was all Roach's doing.
I love Roachy's segments now. He has like lovely parting gifts, like it's a game show. Here, for being our guest, have a hat.
It's funny when he said it's cold here tonight. It's over 100 every day, isn't it, now in Iraq?
It's hot. It was hot. Perhaps still is. I don't know. Does our weather detector out there on the right field roof give us Iraqi weather?
It probably does. I'm sure it does.
Kapler's had a perfect night in the number 9 spot. 2 singles, a walk, 2 runs batted in, a run scored. At least for tonight, the Red Sox have not missed Trot Nixon. Red Sox leading 7-4 in the 7th. Hit hard again by Kapler, but right at Creedy. And Wunsch has a 1-2-3 inning. Just the second of the night for Chicago pitchers after 7-7-4 Boston. Every weeknight on UPN 38.
You never know if get the next inning or so over in 4 minutes, they may be out of time.
No chance. Inning and a half to go. By the way, in our never-ending search to inform the public, question comes up, we want to answer it. We checked our weather station. We can look up the weather. Right now in Baghdad, 69 degrees, but tomorrow's forecast high is 103.
It's a dry heat, though.
How do you know? You remember, right?
That's what I understand. It's a desert, kind of a desert climate, like Phoenix.
Konerko, the leadoff hitter, against Mike Timlin, who came in last inning to get the final out. Stranded 2 runners that he inherited. Konerko 0 for 2 with a walk, then Valentine and Creedy. Timlin, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Red Sox. Suppan started, went 6. Jones pitched 2/3 of an inning and gave up 1 run. And now Timlin. It was a very nice gesture, too, by Dan Roach, because you gave him that hat tonight, that Rim Dog hat, and it was very meaningful to him.
I gave him that about a month ago, really, and he kept held on to it, and he wanted to present it to that gentleman.
That's very nice.
Yep.
Those are all the rage here in New England.
Somebody clipped yours.
Yeah, at the concert the other night. I wore my Rim Dog hat to your Rim Dog tailgate and took my eye off the hat and it was gone.
Did you check Springsteen?
I heard he might have been the culprit. Two and two the count on Konerko. You had a who's who of bigwigs up there too. I mean, that was not just John Q. Public and Mrs. Public. It was you had a lot of big celebrities up there. In the dirt. Greg Petranzio, Mike Garaci. Our main man Joseph Abboud was there.
That was awfully nice of him to come.
Yeah.
Pablo Bell, Bob Newmeyer was there.
Jerry Callahan, Larry Lucchino.
Yeah.
Well, being that you are kind of a cult-like figure, you know, you're a draw. People just want to come be in your presence, experience the aura.
I think the Lobster was the draw.
The Lobster was pretty good, I'm not going to lie to you. 3-2 pitch. Fouled in the Red Sox dugout. Tomorrow it'll be Tim Wakefield on the mound for the Red Sox against Bartolo Colon. That's on Nesson tomorrow night at 7:05, and Nesson also has the action Sunday at 2. Now to play again to the right, John Burkett against Mark Burley. So the Red Sox batters will have their work cut out for them the next 2 ball games against Colon and Burley. It's hard to figure out with their talents how those 2 guys are both right around 500 for the year. Colon's 13-12 and Burley is 12-13.
Now Burley got off to a very slow start. I think they had a stretch of 8 losses in a row. A lot of it because they weren't scoring runs for him.
Konerko, after a lengthy at bat, rounds to short for the first out of the 8th inning.
Shortstop.
In fact, I think Burley broke that long losing streak against the Red Sox in Chicago. And since that time has pitched very good baseball for him.
Well, good news for the White Sox. Cleveland has added a run, and they now lead Minnesota 4-2 in the 6th inning at Jacobs Field. The Yankees still lead Tampa Bay 7-2. There's the Cleveland and Minnesota score. And the Yankee score. And that one in the middle is interesting too. Mike Maroth, a 20-game loser. First time since 1980 that's happened in the majors, and now we're working on a shutout tonight. Hit a mile high. And no chance for Veritek.
And there's a lot of talk about taking Maroth out of the rotation so he would not lose 20. But to his credit and the Tigers' credit, he is still out there pitching, and hopefully he'll pick up a couple of wins before the season's over. He's not as bad as that, that's for sure.
No. And Kansas City just cannot afford to lose to Detroit.
No.
They're in a tough spot now, 3.5 games out. It's been a great year for Tony Pena and the Royals, but it is starting to slip away from them. In the dirt. Would you agree that even though they're starting to slide back toward 500 for the year, that Tony should still be the manager of the year in the American League?
I don't think anybody expected the Royals to even compete for as long as they have this year. I would certainly think that he's going to get an awful lot of votes for manager of the year, if not win it. I think Ken Marker will do very well in Oakland. Red Sox reach the playoffs. I'll tell you who the general manager of the year is going to be.
Theo.
Yep.
Valentine got that one off the end of the bat, a routine fly to center. 2 outs here in the 8th. Down in New York, the Yankees just got a 3-run homer from Aaron Boone, and now lead Tampa Bay 10-2 after 7. So they're on their way to victory tonight. Red Sox will need a win in all likelihood to remain 4 games out in the American League East.
And Aaron Boone is picking it up a bit recently. He's on to swing the bat a little better, getting used to the American League pitching.
That will be the 6th straight win for New York, barring some sort of major catastrophe befalling the Yankees. We can only hope that'll happen.
About the National League Manager of the Year, Sean. You got a Lou that took over in San Francisco with a different club.
Yeah, he'd have to, but he did take over a team that was in the World Series last year. Jack McKeon.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Took over a Florida team that was below 500. And they're now 16 over 500. Dusty Baker has the Cubs in contention. I would say those are the candidates.
Jimmy
Williams. Houston in first place.
I think you got it.
You know, 10 games over 500 with that team to me is about where they should be. I don't think they're certainly overachieving. Jimmy Williams.
Oh yeah, Houston.
The
Yeah.
Astros.
I think Jack McKeon. That's a good call.
And you know, Bobby Cox again, year after year he gets bypassed because people just expect him to win. But I think people thought this was the year they were going to move back quite a bit because of the pitching. And yet they've transformed themselves into a terrific hitting team, and they have the best record in all of baseball.
92 wins. Yeah, they really have changed. They've gone to big offensive club now.
And people in Atlanta get on Bobby's case because they've only won that one World Series. But when you win like they have, 11 division titles in a row, you're doing something right. Nice play by Garcia Parra to throw out Joe Creedy. A 1-2-3 inning for Timlin, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. Boston leading 7-4. 2 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in, batting 9th. Johnny Damon has drawn 3 of those 12 walks. Jeff Suppan went 6 innings in his start. Game summary brought to you by Nissan. 5th pitcher of the night for Chicago is Tom Gordon, on to face the top of the Red Sox order here in the 8th inning. And he delivers ball 1.
He's had a nice year for the Chicago White Sox. .219 batting average against. He's got 84 strikeouts and 68 in the third innings, carries that 6-6 record.
Naaman has walked 3 times and reached on a fielder's choice. He sends it right back to Gordon on a hop. 1 out. That is 6 in a row retired by Chicago pitchers. Kelly Wunsch did a very nice job for them in relief. Pitched 2 1/3 scoreless and hitless innings. He walked 2. Red Sox have not had a hit since the 4th inning, when Todd Walker had a bloop single with 2 outs to drive in a run. One and 0 the count on Walker. See that sign in the background, play Daubach. This also marks the return to Fenway Park of Brian Daubach, who has not played very much this year. It's been disappointing in that regard for Brian in his first season with the White Sox.
Especially in the second half of the season, not much playing time at all. He got his 500th career hit yesterday as he got a start at first base.
Driven toward the right field corner and in for a hit for Walker, up into the seats. .32 double of the year for Walker, and the Red Sox first hit since Walker singled with 2 outs in the 4th.
It's like a fan reached over and becomes fan interference on this play. It's hard to tell. Now that ball is going to bounce up, I believe, in the stands anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, pitch running for Walker.
Damian Jackson out to pinch run for Todd Walker. He'll go in defensively at second base.
The Red Sox trying to pad their 3-run lead with an eye toward the 9th. Here's Garciaparra. Takes a knee-high strike. Nomar walked in the first inning, a struck out fly to right, grounded a short since. In the 9th, the White Sox have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up: Sandy Alomar, Roberto Alomar, and Carlos Lee. Frank Thomas would bat 4th. And Sandy Alomar is going to the mound to chat with Gordon.
Well, Nomar is in a pretty good slump right now. 7 for his last 43. Happy to return here to Fenway Park. Does not have a hit yet in this game tonight. But of course, most of his damage this year has been right here at Fenway. Huge difference in batting average, home and road.
Fouled away. I think that pitch right there, kind of an example of he's just a little bit off.
Yeah. It's amazing, though. You know, Nomar really struggled on that last road trip, but yet the Red Sox, with all the offense they have, did not struggle scoring runs.
Nomar started the night hitting .387 here at Fenway, .244 on the road. Pinch runner Jackson at second, 1 out. 7-4 Boston in the 8th. The 0-2 from Gordon to Garciaparra, hit hard to center, but Everett is there to make the catch. He gets it back in quickly.
Not much you can do about that. That ball hit very well by Garciaparra, but right at Carl Everett on the line.
Left fielder, number 24.
Red Sox do have action in their bullpen. Young Kim warming up. Ramiro Mendoza also alongside, but Kim would be likeliest to come into the game right now. It is a save situation. Manny Ramirez could take it out of a save situation if he could drive in Todd Walker from second. Manny 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. Belt high strike.
Tom Gordon had gone through a number of injuries, but he certainly has his fastball back. Every time we see him this year, consistently 93, 94, 95 with the fastball. Still has the good hook. Got to tip your cap to Gordon for making that comeback.
Little pop fly in shallow right, coming on hard Ordonez to make the catch and end the inning. Red Sox have left 9, but as we go to the 9th, they lead 7-4. Friday Night Baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. By Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. And by Ford. If you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again. Byung-Hyun Kim on to try to save it for Jeff Suppan. He's on to protect a 3-run lead in the 9th, facing a pinch hitter, Armando Rios, batting for Sandy Alomar Jr.
12 saves for Kim in 15 opportunities. His last outing was Monday. Picked up the loss against the Orioles to run his record to 7-5.
Sandy Alomar 0 for 3 tonight. His brother Roberto's on deck. Rios knocks one off the mask of Veritek, and he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. Rios hitting .220 for the year. He's had 100 at bats with 22 hits. 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. Damian Jackson stayed in the game. After pinch running, he's the second baseman. Swing and a miss. Rios dispatched quickly by Kim.
Kim hits his spot this time. You see Veritek set up away. That fastball up and away, exactly where the catcher wanted it. One of the problems recently for Kim is not hitting his spots. A little bit wild, in and out of the strike zone, but that time perfect.
Robbie Alomar took ball 1 that just missed. He's over 3 with a walk last time up. Mike Timlin pitched an inning in the 3rd of perfect relief. Retired all 4 men he faced. Very late swing and a foul off to the left. A ball and a strike on Alomar with Carlos Lee on deck. 7-4 Boston. The Red Sox have just 5 hits. The Chicago pitchers walked 12 tonight. Down to first. Millar fell down after fielding it, but makes the play, and the Red Sox are 1 out away from their 3rd straight win.
Left fielder, number 45, Carlos Lee.
Here's Carlos Lee. Fouled out of play to the right. The copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Boston Red Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. The 0-1 pitch. He tried to check a swing and could not. Oh, 0-2. Way outside, and Lee wouldn't chase it. He fouled that one out of play to stay alive. Yankees leading 10-2 in the 9th against Tampa Bay. So in all likelihood, when these 2 games are over, it'll still be New York by 4 over Boston, the American League East. Seattle plays later on. Red Sox started the day with a 1.5 lead over the Mariners in the wild card race. They get underway. They're just underway now out in Seattle against Anaheim. Another 1-2 pitch. Chop foul.
Had all kind of coin flips just a couple of days ago to determine tiebreakers, and good luck if you could follow all that. All I know is the Red Sox in any kind of tie would not play at home.
They had a coin flip first about a tie in the division. The Yankees, because they had a better record, got to call it. They called tails and won. So Theo Epstein got a chance to call on the flip against the Mariners. He didn't want to call tails because the Yankees did. And he said Bill James told him to call heads. It was tails. So Theo's not going to get through the coin flip again.
What do they do this coin flip?
Theo was over the phone.
Over the phone?
So how do we know? I mean, do we have anybody there to see?
Yeah, who do you trust?
Maybe it was by video conferencing. But Theo said John Henry and Larry Lucchino told him don't go to Vegas anytime soon. Well, it's not exactly a good luck charm. 1-2 pitch. Awkward swing and a pop-up. Veritag racing back, goes into a slide and can't catch it. And that was eerily reminiscent, Jerry, of the play he broke his elbow on.
Yeah, the one at the elbow was in the on-deck circle, which is no longer there. They've taken that away. It was very hard surface. Veritek had a tough time picking this up off the bat. Had to go full speed. Goes into the slide before he gets to the stands and just off the glove.
Well, Lee is battling Kim, trying to put him away and end the ball game. Another 1-2 pitch. Little roller over to first. Kim has to cover. He has it, and the Red Sox win. They've won 3 in a row, 8 out of 10, and 15 of 20. Boston wins tonight by a final score of 7-4. For Boston, 7 runs on 5 hits and no errors. They left 9. Chicago 4 runs.
You buy